Nobody wanted him. Then he saved her life. He had been waiting for months. Months of watching other dogs get walked out the front door of the Arizona Humane Society in Phoenix, tail wagging, leash clipped, family waiting. Months of kennel sounds and the same concrete walls and the quiet, patient hope that today would be different. His name was Rowlan, a 7-year-old American pitbull terrier. He had come in as an injured stray, found on the street, hurt, alone. No collar, no chip. No one looking for him. The staff had patched him up, given him a name, and started the long work of trying to find him a home. The problem was that 7-year-old pit bulls are one of the hardest dogs to adopt out in America. Too old, too big, too much history that nobody knows. Families come in looking for puppies. They walk past the senior dogs without stopping. Rowlan waited, and then one morning in late May, a 2-year-old pug named Tilly arrived at the Arizona Humane Society's trauma hospital. She was barely alive. If this kind of story moves you, subscribe right now. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we bring you the rescues that change everything. Hit subscribe so you never miss one. Tilly was severely anemic, underweight, dehydrated, largely unresponsive when the medical team got to her. The veterinarians at Arizona Humane's Trauma Hospital, one of the most advanced emergency animal care facilities in the country, ran their assessments quickly. They had seen this before. They knew what it meant. Tilly was dying, and she was dying fast. The only thing that could save her was an emergency blood transfusion. It was not a simple procedure. Blood transfusions in animals are technically complex and expensive, not the kind of thing most shelters can offer. But Arizona Humane is not most shelters. Their trauma hospital is equipped to handle exactly these kinds of life or death moments. The situations where a homeless animal arrives with no owner, no resources, and no one to make decisions except the medical team in front of them. The team had one problem. They needed a donor. Emergency blood transfusions in dogs require a living donor, a healthy dog of compatible size and blood type who can give enough blood to stabilize the patient. Finding one in an emergency is not always easy. There is no blood bank that works the same way human medicine is built over decades. You need the right dog. You need them now. The team looked at who they had, and one of the nurses pointed to Rowlan. He was healthy. He had been cleared medically, he was big enough, and he was right there, sitting in his kennel, waiting, like he had been doing for months. The staff knew Rowlan. They had spent time with him every day. They knew he was gentle, calm, the kind of dog who did not panic in unfamiliar situations, the kind of temperament that made a blood draw manageable even without an owner present. They prepped him. He was patient. Rowlan gave Tilly the blood transfusion that would save her life. And something remarkable happened immediately. Her vital signs began to stabilize. Almost as soon as Rowlan's blood entered her system, the numbers that had been falling started to turn around. Her body responded. Her color changed. The team watched, and for the first time since Tilly had arrived, they allowed themselves to exhale. She was going to make it. If you are still watching this, you already know this is the kind of story that matters. Subscribe. We are here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Hit the button and stay with us. Seeing one rescued dog help save another is a powerful reminder of why this work matters, said Dr. Stephen Hansen, President and CEO of Arizona Humane. Rowlan's blood donation gave Tilly the life-saving boost she needed. But her recovery was made possible by an entire team working together.
That team worked on Tilly for weeks. She was fragile. A blood transfusion is not a cure. It is a bridge. It buys time for the body to begin recovering what it has lost. The staff monitored her around the clock, adjusting her nutrition, managing her fluid levels, watching for any sign of setback. Slowly, steadily, Tilly began to come back. She gained weight. Her energy returned. Her eyes, which had been dull and unfocused when she came in, started to light up again. And the veterinarian who had led her treatment, who had stood over her in those first critical hours and made the call to use Rowlan's blood, could not stop thinking about her, could not imagine sending her to a regular kennel to wait for adoption after everything Tilly had been through, could not imagine not being there if she had a setback. So she brought Tilly home. Tilly now lives with the doctor who helped save her life. She is receiving ongoing care from someone who already knows her body, her history, every detail of what she went through. She is not just recovering, she is thriving. And Rowlan? Rowlan sat in his kennel. The staff watched what had happened, watched how he had given blood without resistance, watched how the story of what he had done began to spread through the building, through social media, through the news. People started to hear about the 7-year-old pit bull who had saved a dying pug. And not long after Tilly went home with her doctor, Rowlan got his second chance too. He was adopted. He is now living in a home in Phoenix with a family of his own. The dog nobody wanted for months, the stray who came in injured and was patient enough, gentle enough, brave enough to give a stranger his blood, finally has a yard and a couch and someone to come home to. There is a version of this story where Rowlan is not there that day, where Tilly arrives and the right donor is not available, where the team has to make a different call, where Tilly does not make it. There is a version of this story where Rowlan grows older in that kennel, waiting for a family that never comes. Neither of those versions happened. What happened instead is that a shelter dog who needed saving saved another shelter dog who needed saving. 2 lives that could have ended in a kennel or on a street or in a trauma bay instead ended up in homes with families with futures. Arizona Humane said it plainly. Their trauma hospital exists because homeless pets facing life-threatening conditions deserve the same quality of care as any other animal. They are not turned away because they have no owner. They are not given up on because their situation seems impossible. Summer is the busiest season for the Arizona Humane Society. The number of sick, injured, and homeless animals that arrive through their doors peaks in the heat. Animals found collapsed on sidewalks, brought in by strangers, abandoned in the chaos that summer brings. The cost of caring for all of them is staggering. But Rowlan was there, and Tilly survived. And somewhere in Phoenix right now, a 7-year-old pit bull is curled up on a couch in a house that is his. A 2-year-old pug is sleeping at the feet of the doctor who refused to give up on her. 2 rescue dogs, 2 second chances. 1 impossible, unrepeatable moment when their lives crossed, and both of them made it through. That is why this work matters. That is why people keep showing up, keep donating, keep opening their homes to the dogs nobody wants. Because sometimes the dog nobody wanted is exactly the one someone needed. Rowlan gave everything he had that day, and the world gave it back.
Thank you for watching. If this story meant something to you, subscribe, share it. We're here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday with rescues that deserve to be seen. A link to support Arizona Humane Society is in the description. Tilly and Rowlan are safe, but there are thousands more like them still waiting. We will be back Friday. Until then, thank you.